She's a best-selling author and life coach, obsessed with helping women to silence their insecurities, build healthy boundaries, and fearlessly pursue the life and career of their dreams. Join her as she provides you with strategies and real-life tips to create your best life. Welcome to Fearless Fridays with Marianne.
We are live. All right, let me make sure that this is on here showing up, and I will tag you ladies.
Yes, so I can share.
It takes a minute. There we go. And it's weird because it'll show public on a page, but on your personal one, it shows up private until. All right, so it's live, so you guys can go ahead and share. Personal one. If you'd like to go ahead and share it.
Is it your page live or is it on your business page live?
I'm the Marianne Rivera, just my regular one, my personal one.
Okay.
You can find it on there and you can share it. And while you ladies are doing that, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today for this amazing roundtable discussion. I have with us 5 of some amazing women that I have connected with over the years. So I'm going to allow them an opportunity to introduce themselves and tell you a little bit of who they are. So, Kathy, let's start with you.
Take myself off of mute. Hello, everyone. I am Kathy Staten, also known as the Fire Your Fear Coach. I assist women with firing their fear and learning how to walk in their authentic purposes. And I am so happy to be here with you ladies to share this evening.
Laquita?
I found the mute button. Hi, everyone. My name is Laquita Monley, and I am a John Maxwell certified speaker, coach, and facilitator. And it is my passion to help ladies find their individual places of courage, destiny, and power.
Thank you. Tanya?
Hello, everyone. I'm Tanya Bankston. I am the Change Doula, and I am a mental health coach as well as a mental health therapist, and I make discussing mental health wellness and mental health posh, chic, and relevant.
Awesome. Ebony?
Hey, you guys. Good afternoon. I am Ebony Nicole, the writing coach and publishing engineer. I help faith-based men and women to start and finish, design, publish, and release the book God gave them.
Beautiful. And last but not least, Maribel.
Hi, I'm Maribel Torres. I am a fitness and wellness coach, helping people to become active and healthy through nutrition and training. Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome. Awesome. So everyone, I am Marianne Rivera Dannert, known as the Fearless Living Coach once again. And thank you so much for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. So we are going to dive right in. So starting with Kathy, what are your thoughts on self-care and why do you feel so many women don't practice this enough?
Ooh, my thoughts on self-care. I think self-care is very, very important to practice every day. Take a little bit of self-care, 5, 10, 15 minutes, however much time that you need, but it's very, very important to practice, especially when we are sharing and giving up ourselves to other people. If we consider ourselves as coaches or as counselors or something like that, we have to take care of ourselves first. We can't take care and help other people walk in their purposes, fire their fear, whatever it is that we do, help people change without taking care of ourselves first. You know, we're so busy trying to do all these amazing things, but we lack on ourselves. We're not getting enough sleep. We're not doing things to pamper ourselves. We're not taking time for ourselves because we're so busy trying to help everyone. I'm a mental health counselor by trade. That's another half of me, and I take in so much energy. So I got to make sure that at the end of the day that I'm good to be able to help my clients, to be there for them, because their lives are at stake. You know, even as a coach, you know, we're helping people with their lives. So we got to take care of us first. And that looks different for each one of us. You know, I mean, it could be something simple. It can be something big. I mean, if I just get my hair done and my eyebrows waxed, woo, I feel good. Okay. Okay. Sitting in that chair, getting my feet done and that massage chair on my back. I mean, it just feels like it may be something small to someone else, but it's like life for me, you know? So yeah, self-care is very important.
Can we just hop in?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay, so like popcorn style. I agree with Coach. It's definitely important for self-care. Man, woman, child, you have to take care of you first. And I know I'm not married and I don't have children. So my self-care, I don't have to worry about anyone else. But so I can be selfish with my self-care right now until my husband and children arrive. But I would imagine that because I'm already written in my self-care into my life, that I would hope that the transition to becoming wife and mother, that self-care would take on different arenas where I have to make sure that my husband is taking care of himself and that our children are taking care of themselves as well, or not taking care of themselves, but they have that avenue of self-care. And like, what do you need? What is it that we can do as your parents to help you along your journey in life? So I think self-care is for men, women, and children, especially if you have, like many of us wear many different hats. So we got to make sure we're okay to show up every day healthy, and not just physically, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially healthy. And if we don't take care of us, all those other things will not be in place.
Absolutely. I just want to pop in and wholeheartedly agree with both of you ladies, even so much to say that self-care is not selfish. We that do have husbands and significant others and children, oftentimes, let me just speak for myself. There was a point in my life where I felt like, let me take care of everything else because that's a priority, and not take care of me, when exactly what Coach said, if I'm not making myself a priority, then I don't have everything that I need to show up at 100% in the spaces that I need to show up in. So, you know, each of us has to determine what self-care means to us. My favorite thing to do is the pedicure. I can live with or without the manicure, but I got to get my feet done on a regular basis. Okay. We only get one set of these things, right? But what that looks like for me, it's non-negotiable time in my life that those who are in my life that know and love me, they respect that. And I set that boundary. And if a person can't respect your boundary as it relates to your self-care, then we might need to reconsider how we position that individual in our life. So self-care is not selfish. It's necessary. And if we don't do it, we will burn out.
Absolutely.
And that doesn't matter whether you are a stay-at-home parent or a work-from-home parent or not a parent. Self-care has to be done.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I just want to jump in real quick and just say I agree with all of the ladies who spoke before me. I believe that self-care is definitely multifaceted. It's multi-dimensional. It is comprised of so many components, you know, the physical side, the emotional side, the mental side, the physical side. And it's not a luxury. It's not a luxury. It's something that has to be done, whether it's something that's small that encompasses journaling every day, listening to music, paying attention to the various stressors that we have, making sure that we as women, we go and we get our mammograms and our physicals and all of that's part of self-care. All of it is ongoing. All of it is daily. All of it adds to, as the previous speaker just said, it's daily. It's all of it is important, and all of it allows you to show up in your best self, in your best faith, and be able to nurture relationships because you've nurtured yourself first.
Totally agree with that, Tanya.
Yeah. I think I'm missing. So, but I am agree with all of you guys, and it's so true. It's important. And the first thing that I always think about self care is like we as women think that it's selfish because we put everybody first, and it's not like that. So, and it has come to the topic that is important because everybody is like getting aware to like we need it because we are in the point that it's like well, now we're talking about it because it's too late. Now I have to lose weight. For example, for me, it's like now I have to lose weight because the doctor says so. I have to decrease my stress. I have to learn how to overcome that stress that I have because the doctor says that. So I don't want people to get into that point, and that's where we are walking into like when someone is telling you what to do because now it's too late. So and it's amazing how now everybody's taking care of themselves, and now it's changing. Like it's not selfish. It is not. You have to take care of yourself first. When you go into an airplane, who needs to put the seatbelt first? We have to.
Yeah.
So in order to help our children, in order to help other people, because that's how we have to be in nowadays with us first. So get up early. If you don't have time, get up earlier and eat that breakfast first, meditate first, look for God first, in order for you to become successful in a day. Yes, we have to be self-care single minute, day, weekly, monthly, and keep going. And if the 21 day didn't work for like to develop that habit, go 21 day more and so on and so forth, because it takes time to develop that and to think about yourself. So and that's how I define self-care is you first.
Just let me just say, when I said I can be selfish with my self-care, I mean I don't have to consider someone else's time.
Yes,
when you are married and with children, you do have to consider your spouses and children time. So when I say selfish with my self-care, it means if I wake up on a Saturday morning, I don't want to do anything today, but and that's my self-care. Or if I want to go spend an afternoon in a spa, I don't have to say, honey, what are you doing? Or kids, find a babysitter and things of that nature at this point. But that's what I want to clear up when I say being selfish with my self-care.
I define self-care drinking a margarita, girl.
Listen, a glass of wine.
Yeah,
wine is self-care for me.
And that's the beautiful. And that's the beautiful thing about self-care is that it looks different for everyone.
Yes.
Where, getting up, 5 minutes earlier is self-care for someone, spending a day at a spa. So, and that's the beautiful thing, that it's not one size fits all. It looks very different.
Yes.
So moving on to our next question, we'll start with Tanya. Where do you feel empowerment comes from?
So empowerment, the way I look at it is the ability for a person to fully engage in their life. I think one of the biggest steps for me in terms of empowering myself, empowering my clients, is helping them to tune out so many messages, so many outside influences, and start to tap into what's important to them. A good way to do that is by becoming very, very crystal clear on what your purpose is. Yeah. And so once you know what your purpose is, then you can align yourself up with that purpose so that you're in a space to empower yourself by doing things on a consistent basis to empower you to be in alignment, to go back to your self-care, to do your goal setting. All of that is empowering to the individual.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
I can agree with you on that, because sometimes when we are empowered, I think when I'm trying, sometimes I fail at empowering myself, and I need someone else. That's why I have a mentor and a coach to help me. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, your empowerment is something that has to be internal. It's empowering myself to think better of my situation, think better of myself in every area of my life. That's empowering. So, but there are times where I'm like, I can't do this. So I reach out I'm not afraid anymore to ask for help. I don't have to be superwoman. I got rid of that cape years ago, because superwoman is the one who does not need help. But I'm just Ebony, and I need help. And when I do, I ask for it. So empowering yourself is something that's internal. But then there are times when you need that external empowerment. So people that can pour into you and, give you a different perspective and help you understand, yes, it's this, but if you look at it this way, you'll see something a little different, and that'll help you, get up, get going, and go towards that future that you have already spoken to.
That's awesome.
I love that. I love that, Ebony, because I never thought about, empowerment in me. It's just like you think about the goals and the accomplishment that you have accomplished, right? The thing that you have accomplished, and that for me was like that. But then thinking about what you're saying and empowering ourselves, it's important. So, and you can share that with other people and taking the God-given potential and letting them know what they are capable of doing. And then once they're doing it, it's like, wow, I made that happen. So, but now thinking about what you're saying, it's like reviewing everything that you have accomplished and then deliver those to your others. So, and then when they come and say, yes, I did it because, you mentioned this or you said this, and I didn't know I had this going on, or I didn't know I had this skill, but you did it yourself first.
Yeah.
And that is great. I love that. So yes, that's empowerment. So,
I can just say to everything they just said.
Okay, yes, Marianne.
Yes, honey.
Yes, a lot of times.
Everything, right? And because empowerment can be both internal and external. When we understand who we are and whose we are, it's through the power of the Word of God. It's through the power of the Holy Spirit that I am empowered, that my joy, my cup is always full. But that doesn't mean, like Sis said, that I am Superwoman and that I have to wear that Superwoman cape. I'm not Jesus. I'm his daughter. So that means I need help sometimes, right? I'm anointed. I'm not without fault or wrinkle. I have flaws. I have issues. And because of that, through his word, I understand that if I have surrounded myself with the divine connections, with the right type of individuals, then in my weakness, then those sisters or those men and women of God that are in my inner circle, I could be transparent with them, and they're already praying with me and for me. And it's through their encouragement that I can make it a little further, if you will, right? So it's really important that we are empowered internally, and that we know that the Word of God will never fail us. He'll never leave us nor forsake us. That when those moments come, then the Spirit of the Lord lifts up that standard. I can speak that word, right? But like I said, I'm not Jesus. I'm his daughter. I'm a daughter of the King. So in my moments of weakness, then I have someone there that can lift me up. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, just to paraphrase. When I'm trying to do this by myself, when I walk alone, when I fall in that ditch, there's nobody else to pick me up. But the scripture goes on to say that when you're walking with someone else, if you're walking with one person or two other people, if you should stumble, your brother is there to lift you up, and that a 3/4 cord is not easily broken. And then I just paraphrase that, right? Out of Ecclesiastes chapter 4. So that empowerment comes very much so from the people. And I have to have the right people in my circle, knowing who can be that close to me and who can encourage me and build me that type of, in that way.
Powerful. Kathy?
Oh, I thought I was going to let Tanya go, but did you go already, Tanya? Okay. So the ladies already spoke on two things that I would say, which would be internally, and also it's important to have the right people in your circle. But one thing I think empowerment comes from are the things that we go through. I think the things that we go through empower us. And that may be, that we actually go through and grow through, and we become empowered in that way as well. I think that's very important, as far as, where empowerment comes from, because I know there have been some things that I've went through that have liberated me personally, and have empowered me to do things such as start my business, or me feeling like I've been led into the counseling field to be able to help others. And I think if I hadn't went through those things that I went through, I would not have feel or be empowered to do some of the things that I'm doing right now today. And so, so those three things, like they said, just having the right people around you to uplift you and empower you. Say, yeah, girl, go ahead, do that thing, and cheer you on and things like that. And that is something, honestly, that we have, some of us women have a hard time doing, lifting our other sister up, when we should be all about women empowerment. This is Women's History Month. And I've been making a few posts here and there, talking about empowerment. Lift your sister up, congratulate her, just tell her she's beautiful, do something just to, let you don't know what that person's going through. You don't know what they're dealing with behind that smile, behind that makeup, and things like that. And just that one word or something you said to her can, push her to be empowered, to do something, or to get off of whatever they're consumed with, of, feeling. So, so that's what I think empowerment is.
And it's very important, all of you mentioned a little bit of what I think empowerment is. And I think it's very important too. Sometimes we feel that our best friends, our families should be the first ones, to buy our things, to support us. And I've come to learn that sometimes they have no idea what you're doing, because they don't follow you, they don't support you, but they're quick to gossip and talk about you because you've changed. And I hope that I've changed, because I don't want to be the same person I was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, let alone last week.
That's right. That's I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry, Ebony. Did I cut over you?
Okay. Go ahead.
So really quick, when I'm a domestic violence survivor, and one of the things that I thought was important with me being a domestic violence survivor was to spread awareness. So I used to, I started off in my journey being a domestic violence advocate, having awareness events. And domestic violence, as you all, I'm sure, know, is a stigma behind it. It's pushed under the rug. We don't want to talk about it. But it kills people. It lies every day. As a matter of fact, every 9 seconds, a woman is abused. So when I first started having these events, I remember the first couple of events I had, I would be in tears. I would go in the bathroom and I would cry and pray to God, because no one would show up at my events. No one. It would be like 1 or 2 people. So I would never forget that there was a deaconess at my church who came up to me, and the words she told me resonated and changed my life. It changed my life on how I had events, how I thought about events. It changed my life and how I expected people to support me, especially family. She told me, she said, listen, the people that will support you are not gonna be your family and friends. They're gonna be strangers. That's one thing she told me. They will support you the most. And she said, I don't care if you believe God told you to do what you're doing. She said, I don't care if one person show up in the room. She said, I don't care if it's 2 or 3 to show up in the room. You put on that event, you put on that show, you speak, and you do whatever it is, as if you was doing it in front of God, and as if that room was a packed house. And ever since that day, I never looked at, expecting people to support me the same. It really did something to me, because I was so emotional about it. Oh, why are my church not supporting me? Why this is not happening? This is not why are these people not doing the people we expect? And it won't be those people at all. It really won't. You might have 1 or 2 or some family, I'm sure, just like me, y'all have Facebook friends, or family rather, that follow y'all on Facebook, right?
So they know.
They know, they see it, they do something. And I think it's for real, y'all, I think it's a generational thing. Okay. I think it's a generational thing. I think it goes deeper, okay, than them seeing the stuff. You know, you know, you got to change those family dynamics. You know, I come from a family that is just not close. You know, my family is not close on my father's side. My family is not close on my mother's side. You know what? But last year I said I was going to do something. And what did I do? I got all my cousins together, all the ones that would come. All of them didn't come, but I had a cousins brunch. And there were cousins at this brunch that I had never met. You know, that they had never, other ones had never met each other. We have to stop that. I said, listen, we got to get together. We got to start supporting one another. We have to be there for each other. You know, did it work? I don't know. They had a good time. We talked about it for days, but at least I tried to do something, you know, and some of these same people, you know, right now today, they see my stuff, they see stuff, but I don't care anymore.
That's right.
You know, I have this hashtag where I always say unbothered. Okay. I'm unbothered. You know, whether you support me or not, I'm still going to do what God will have me to do. I'm not going to be bothered by whether you do it or not, or family and this and that. I'm unbothered, and you have to be unbothered. You can't stress about who supports you and who don't. You can't stress about who's going to buy this and who that. If you create a t-shirt, advertise that t-shirt like never before, regardless if one person buy it. I paid money to get a whole website built with t-shirt line and all that on it. And I think for about 6 months, not one person brought one thing. And at first it kind of, you know, of course, I'm like, what's going on here? I felt like I had wasted my money and getting this website. And then I had my first sale, and you would have thought I hit the lotto, y'all. Yeah. Okay. So my point is, you know, family will be unfortunately, will be the last ones to, to support us.
And I agree with you, Coach. Sometimes when I talk with my clients, I always tell them your family and friends are just that. They are not necessarily your ideal client, your ideal reader. They are not necessarily your support. Yeah. Okay. And that's why I tell them, whatever we start working on your book, once we begin to work together, you start telling people what it is you're doing immediately, because then you'll start driving other people that don't know you to you. You know, you start, you speak with confidence, go live. I'm like, I push these things so much because I know my family loves me and they care for me and those things like that, but they're not my ideal client nor reader. However, I do have family members who, when someone mentioned they want to write a book or something or publish, they tell them about me. But as far as them hiring me, that's not what they want to do. So it's okay. And so I encourage people, know who your ideal clients and or reader, if you're in a service base, know who your ideal clients are so you can speak to them. And so that way, if your cousin doesn't purchase your program, that's okay, because when you know your ideal person, your cousin doesn't even fit that. So you're okay. If you have an event and you wonder why my sisters didn't come, well, my sisters weren't my ideal attendees. And so when you know these things, you no longer worry about who's not there, but your concern is who's there. And so, like when you said, Coach, I forget your name, so I'm gonna keep calling you Coach.
Kathy.
Okay, so Coach Kathy, when you said you had your one event and 2 people were there, honey, let me tell you, January I had a Bold Writers writing course. It was $27. 3 people purchased. 1 person showed up. You couldn't have told me that only 1 person was in that Zoom meeting, that it was just me and her, because I presented like it was a Zoom full of, I got the paid Zoom and they pulled up 100 people. So I presented like there were 100 people watching me.
That's
and
right.
I do that because one day 100 people will be watching.
That's right.
Will be one, Coach, I want to be in your class. I'm ready to write my book, but I don't know where to start. Blah, 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 blah. One day. And so I encourage people, like, listen, I even have a pastor who I'm honored to have his ear. And so he has Clubhouse. I'm an advocate for Clubhouse now. I've made coins on Clubhouse. So get in there, okay? I have my own room, but I partner with other people, and so they bring me onto their stage and we have conversations. And I've gotten clients, different sessions with people. People have purchased products and services from me. So Clubhouse, you can get those coins. But he became very defeated because no one would hop in his room. And I said, well, man of God, what does God say about when 2 or 3 are joined? In the midst there he shall be. I said, it's you and Jesus. That's 2. And then God gonna show up. So there's 3. I said, and then the Holy Spirit is going to be in the building as well. So there's just 4 people listening to your life. I said, you speak in that Clubhouse like it's full. Some Clubhouse can have thousands of people at a time, and they have had thousands of people come through it. I said, you speak like there's thousands in there, because one day thousands will be in there. It doesn't matter what he says in his word to help me out, Lord. What was it? The about the small beginnings.
Despise small beginnings.
Yes, thank you. I could not do not despise small beginnings. If you got a small beginning, that means you are on your trajectory to something greater. Do not, I don't care how many people, if it's just me, I told him I'm a member of a 24-hour prayer line, and I had to step down back in October, but I'm gearing back up tonight. I'm so excited. So I told him that there were days I would be the only one for a whole hour reading the Bible, listening to God. And I'd be like, Lord, you know what? That makes sense. And it's just me and God on the line with the music going on in the background. And then when someone would come on, I would ask them, do they need prayer? If they didn't say anything, I would just continue with my prayer and having a conversation with God. I don't care because God is there. So I would encourage you, if anybody, just like Coach Kathy said, it was 2 people in there, and now she got, however X amount, but just do it. Like, don't worry about the count. If like she said, if you believe God gave it to you, He gonna send the people. He just want to see if you're gonna be faithful with you before He send you the many.
That part.
Yeah. And Mary Ann, I just want to say this too, and don't let nobody stray you from doing what you want to, what you want, because it could be so discouraging when people don't show up and stuff like that. So discouraging. And I've been there, but I held on and sharing my story and praying, and one day it did pay off. So I want to tell whoever's listening, it will pay off, because I continued to share my story, and I shared it for free for a couple years. I don't share it for free anymore, but all of it will pay off, because at one time I got email to show up on the Dr. Oz show.
Ooh, come on here. All for your story.
I was invited on the Dr. Oz show to share my story about me, about me being a survivor of sexual assault also. Yeah. So, and they was having that type of show, and I don't know where they got my information from. I say it was the Lord, but they invited me to come on the show. So what I'm saying is, you don't have to be big. You don't have to be this big person on this stage. You don't have to have all these followers, because I was really unknown. And I actually sat in myself and was like, how in the world are they asking me to come on this show? But then God was like, well, why not?
Why not you?
Why not me? And so it will pay off. And don't think that you got to have all these people following. None of this stuff. God will blow your mind, because He blew minds, and millions of people watch that show internationally, nationally. And I got to share my story. And if one lady that was watching heard my story about me being raped, and they got the courage to speak up, that was enough.
Absolutely. That's what we need to do, is just show up. And when you show up, especially when you show up in God confidence,
that's right,
then you're going to pull people to you, because you look so yes, I got that God confidence happening right now, but behind it, I'm like, oh my God, Lord. I'm like, Lord, you gonna give me the words to speak? You're like, Lord, give me the words to speak because I don't know what to say right now, but give me the words that they can hear that will resonate with them, even if it's just one. So yeah, and he said, I will make your name great.
Yeah.
Yes.
All we gotta do is show up.
That's right.
Yeah, so let him do it.
All right. So the next question, I'm going to start with Laquita. How do you define success, and is your current view different than how you were raised?
So I love that question. So my current view of success is very different than the way that I was raised. And I'll also make this really clear. Our parents or whoever raised us, generally the consensus is they raised us to the best of their abilities, and they could only instill in us what they knew. Yeah. So where I'm sitting at in success now in my adult life is a product of how I was raised. But I'm also now experiencing things in my adult life that my family, my grandparents, my parents, they didn't experience, so they couldn't give that to me. So I had to learn that as I grew and matured with my husband and my children. Today, my definition of success is owning my time.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter how much money I'm making. And let's be clear, money is important because we have bills and they must be paid. Yeah. However.
And if you pay your bill, you're happy.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go. Yes. I pay my bills, I'm happy. Mm-hmm. Where I am right now in my life, however, a salary or a contract that goes against what I have prioritized, I'm probably not going to do that. Yeah. Because what's most important to me at this stage of my life is owning my time and having that time to put my family first. Yeah. Most people that have families, we're striving for what the world or culture or even ourselves have defined as success because it looks good of whatever that American dream is, right? The car, the house, the 2.5 kids. That whole 0.5 always confuses me because you cannot have half a kid. Not have half a kid, right? You got the career, you got all of these things, and you're doing all of these things so that I can provide for my family. We're doing all these things so I can make sure that my children get the best of the best. We're doing all these things so we can go on the vacations and whatnot. But in the pursuit of the money, we neglect the thing that's most important to us. If we took a survey now, most entrepreneurs, most family people will say, my family is my biggest why. How much time are you spending with them? And when you're spending that time with them, are you present?
Present. There you go.
Are you present? Your body is in the room, but where's your mind? Where is your heart? Your body is in the room, but if the child is saying something to you or your significant other is saying something to you, are you irritated? Are you annoyed? Are you only giving them a portion of yourself because in your head you're thinking about all of the tasks that still need to be done or what I could be doing right now? This is not a good use of my time. The devil is a lie. Yep. I had to live through some experiences where I failed my family. And while I was in the pursuit of what I thought success was, I was neglecting them. I might have been in the room with them, but I wasn't present with them. We may have been out to dinner together, but I wasn't present with them because everybody who knew me was stopping at the table. And instead of me setting that boundary and saying, okay, no, this is my family time, don't do that, then we would engage them in conversation. So success for me now is owning my time. Yeah. Owning my time so I can be 100% present and available for my family the way that I desire to be.
Yeah, absolutely love that.
Yeah, I love this girl, and I just met her. It's so true. Because, I love that when you said people put their kids or their family as a why, and they are the last one. Yeah. These people are just spending the time with. or doing something with. It's so, I love that.
Because it's like a lot of times we're believing like, so in our singleness, when we're single, we're believing God for your significant other, you're believing God for family. And then when we get them, and because we're pursuing whatever success is, it's like so many things in our life have played a role in what we view success to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's on a subconscious level as well as a conscious level. And oftentimes those hidden expectations that we have on that subconscious level is causing us not to show up appropriately in our everyday life for the things and the people that we say we value the most, right? And so you make these mistakes. That's a journey that I took, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I understand that. So anything that God bless you with, he gives us the ability to maintain it. If he blessed you to obtain it, he gives you the ability to maintain it.
Yes.
Through wisdom, right? When we adhere to the wisdom, we've got to recognize the wisdom when it's coming. And most of the time when the wisdom is coming, since it's not coming in a way that we want to hear it, or it's saying the exact opposite of what we want to hear, and it's not agreeing with what we want in that moment, then we reject the wisdom. And we can even go and pull the scripture to justify why we reject the wisdom. And then we end up losing the blessing that God said. And especially within the body of Christ, we'll say, oh, they could have handled the anointing. No, baby, you didn't show up right.
That's right.
You didn't show up right. Well, my husband, as strong Black women, or a strong women of color, right? They can't handle the success that I have. No, baby, you didn't show up right. Because if you're paired with the one that God has for you, he respects all that about you. But if you're not showing up right, and he doing everything he can to get your attention, then you're not showing up right. If you're saying, well, I don't know why my children acting like this with me, because you haven't been showing up right. Now you've decided they're 17, 18, 19 years old. Oh, wait. Well, you have told them for that amount of time that they're not a priority. So now you have to go through what you have to go through in order to re-win their trust. And you can't dictate how that works. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now because everybody
is so good. So good.
Let me shut up, right?
Amen.
This is such a powerful topic for me. And it's really even it's the title of my book that's coming out in May, Redefining Success. It's 8 tips to a growth mindset, and it just shares some stories from my journey of how I, in my pursuit of what I thought success was, how I almost cost me my family. When that's the thing I'm praying and believing God for. I'm in my prayer closet. I got intercessors around the world praying with me and believing God for me, and the whole time I'm ignoring the wisdom God sent in my way and almost lost my family.
Listen, that's good. That's a good read. I believe that's going to be a good read. And it's because, like, for me, my level, what I thought was success was the house, the car, money in the bank, being able to buy a bag, a $200-$300 bag. It was all material things that I thought equated to success or the look of success. But now at 39, success looks like me being able to show up as Ebony Nicole Smith and to make sure that when I do go somewhere, I'm not like, oh, I spent this money to attend this thing or to fly here to go there, but yet my mortgage is due. That's not success for me. Success is making sure all of my responsibilities have been met. And then whatever is remaining, I can then enjoy without feeling guilty, without feeling pressured, without feeling like I could be spending my money elsewhere or spending my time elsewhere. Like you said, Laquita, I'm in the moment when I'm with family and friends, and I set those measurements of success to me, what that looks like to me. So I've learned not to look at what everyone else has. So, and I had to change my mind about looking at people on social media, because I used to, and I'm going to say used to because it was bad. Yeah. I wouldn't think I was successful in my business because I published 6 clients in 1 year, whereas someone else I'm connected with on social media, they did 25. And I'm like, well, I ain't really do that good because I only had 6. That's not true. You help 6 people obtain a goal that they had only dreamt about. So that's success, because now they have been launched out as published authors. So I look at success in how I have the ability and the honor to help others. That's success for me. And having, like you said, your time, owning my time, like, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to own the time. I don't have to. God had ushered me out of corporate America, or I was working for the government. April 25th to be 1 whole year. I've been walking literally by faith. Amen. And it's just like, okay, God, well, you said to leave, so I'm out here. I'm out here. I'm relying on you. I'm leaning. Like, you got me, Lord, because I'm leaning. He like, don't stand up. You just stand up. So it's been a beautiful journey. But I say that because I no longer have a comfort zone. I don't even know what that looks like anymore. And I can't even imagine going back, because I remember I told one client a comfort zone is a cage. Yes. You can't do anything in a cage. It's stagnant. You are limited to those 5 things or 5 walls around you, the floor, or the 4 walls and the floor. You're limited. And so when it comes to being out of the comfort zone, I would never go back. Never go back. And so, success is different. It's different now. I don't look at things. I don't look at people and measure myself. I look at, okay, what I did last year. Last year, I published 6 clients in a whole year last year. So this year, so far, I got 6. I published 4. 2 more should be done by the end of the month. So I'm already
way ahead
of last year. So to me, I'm already having a successful year. It's different. Yeah. It's different.
So success for me, I think success is what you think it is.
That's right.
I mean, I can't get no plainer than that. It's what you think it is. I think we have been trained by society to think, as it was said earlier, that success is, oh, I got this big house, I'm successful. I got this BMW, I'm successful. Or I got this and I'm that, I'm successful. This, like was talked about earlier, that's not success. Yeah. Success is doing what you love and being okay with it.
Yes.
Not like you said, Ebony, not being okay with worried about what the Joneses have over here or what they have. We've all looked at someone, to be honest, if we want to be honest with ourselves and say, oh, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
Or I want that. It's okay to admire somebody. It's okay to, look at them as a mentor or something like that, but not to look at them in a way that you want to get the things that they have, because whether you drive a Ford or a BMW, whatever you think success is, that's what success is. And we need to get off of that. This thing where we have to be this and that in order to be successful. I don't care if you are where you are right now and you just have 1 client. Yeah. You're successful.
Yes.
Okay. If you have 2 clients, you're successful. Yeah. My very first anthology I did, I had this big old dream to have 10, 20 women in it because I'm looking at somebody else who I admired as a coach. And I'm like, well, man, she is doing it, I can do it. I can get those, amount of women too, and I got 3 women in my first anthology. Yeah. And I was so disappointed, but I checked myself, and sometimes the Holy Spirit will check you. Okay, I gave you this vision or this platform to help women, because I help women by doing anthologies so they'll share their story to give them a voice. But I'm gonna send you who I need to be in the book. Yeah, not your big old, my own big dreams or whatever. It got to come from God. And there was a reason why it was only 3 people in that book, that later on he'll show you. And then it keeps getting, more and more and more, people being in it, but success is just what you think of it is. We can't keep thinking, looking at everybody else, because it's depressing.
Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is.
It's depressing, and it'll leave you stagnant. You'll be stagnant because you're going to continue to think that this is how I'm supposed to be. So you'll never be happy because you're so busy using your life to get to this status when you could be feeling content and successful right now. So that's what's so important. Live your life right now for today. Embrace your success where you are right now, because with everything that's going on in the world, tomorrow is for real, not promised. Okay. With COVID and all this old stuff. So I don't have time to be looking at Sue over here and trying to be like Sue. I need to focus on what I got, what I'm doing right now, and and I do everything unto God. So whatever God have me to do, whatever he places on my heart to do, and in my mind, I focus on that and that only, not what nobody else is doing. And I pray daily, Lord, whatever it is that you would have me to do, equip me, give me the wisdom to be able to help the person that you would have me to help. And at the end of the day, I feel good.
That's right.
I sleep good at night because I know I try my best, and I didn't try to be somebody else or do something else. So success, if you want to take away anything I said about success comes from what who you are. This really is your version of success is what you say it is, not anyone else's.
I love it.
I wanted to just add this real quick to Coach Kathy, just really quickly. I've gotten people would say to me, Coach, I see you doing big things, and I'm like, okay, well, let's go, because to me it's small. I'm not taking it for nothing for granted, but I'm like, this is a little. I'm going. But you never know who's watching. It was like, yo, she's doing big things, and I get it. I'm like, I am okay, and it's not to be big headed, but it's like, don't take what you're doing for granted. So, like what you said, if you got 1 or 2 clients, you're successful. So I would tell anybody, if you got a business, a product based or service based business, tell people I run a successful business doing XYZ, and you do. Because depending on what it is, like you said, Coach Kathy, success is measured by you. So I have a successful business.
And let me add this real quick. Everything is not for everybody.
Yep.
Because you see somebody else being successful at something, it does not mean that it's you. It's for you.
Yeah.
But and everybody is not. I know some of the audience might don't want to hear this, but I like to keep it real. Everybody's not meant to be an entrepreneur.
That part. Say it again. Somebody didn't hear you loud clearly.
And sometimes, sometimes it don't work out because it's not for you.
Yeah.
Year after year, if it ain't good, go to God. Then maybe maybe it's not for you.
Yeah.
So we're not all meant to be. I'm a part-time entrepreneur because I know I couldn't do it full-time. I commend everybody who's been called to entrepreneurship, but I love counseling. I love getting clients and this and that or whatever. But I know that I don't want to be a full-time entrepreneur. But if you know something is not working out for you, it might not be for you. So don't get mad and say, oh, I'm not being successful. Oh, I'm not doing this. It's hard for everybody. But if you into 3 years into doing something, 4 years, and maybe you need to revisit it.
All right, let's give Maribel a chance. What do you think?
No, I mean, I'm nodding my head because I am agree with all 3, and he's like, oh, they can say it. Don't go ahead. There you go. Okay, so you these, and just one thing that I want to say, if you don't show up right, and you complain, you got to change your way of thinking what success is, and it's true. The other thing is, for me, success is just taking that first step. No matter what you decide to do, you need to take that first step, and that is success for me. Because if you don't do anything for yourself, what can you say about success? Being successful, nothing. It's not like financially. It's not having the big house or, you know, having the BMW that you want. It's taking that first step. I have been successful just getting out of my bed.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I don't want anything, and I don't want
Yeah.
to, you know, get up because
Yeah.
I'm tired and do it all again. I'm tired. But no, for me, my success is just getting out of that bed and doing what I'm supposed to be doing and accomplishing day by day.
That's good, Mary. That's good, Mary Bell.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
I love
like
that.
what Ivani said, you know, people are just come to you and say, you're doing a big thing. I have been there and done that. People come to me and say, wow, you're doing great. And I say, what?
Right.
Really? And I'm thinking, am I rich? And am I a millionaire? What? But I have done a lot. Like today, I finished just with one little girl in my Zumba class. One little girl. But you know what? I did it like I have 100 of them because she deserves my time. She deserves what I was there for. So, and it's everything in backing up. I mean, when I had this group of, it's called Amigas Conectadas, Connected Friends, I quit. The 3 months later, I quit. I say, nobody's showing up. And my friends say, no, open that again, putting in gas hands, and let's do this.
That's right.
And it's filling up, and it's making it's doing the purpose. And I'm like, sorry, God, I didn't. Maybe I didn't. I'm like, wow, this is good. This is great. Now I'm getting up. And I'm sitting, and all the girls are saying, I cannot wait for Mondays.
Yeah,
that's a good friend.
Absolutely.
Wait for Mondays. Who would have thought? And they're all waiting for Mondays because of that. And I'm like, I am so grateful that God allowed me to, my friend, pull my ear and say, I'm there with you. We need that. So, but yes, that's success for me. Getting up that bed is having a successful day.
Yeah, that's good.
So while we're at it, Maribel, let's start with you for the next question. Why do you think some people succeed at achieving their goals while other people fail?
Because those people that fail did not get up from their bed.
Right.
They were making that couch, molding that couch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and like, you know, Coach Kathy said, not everything that you are going to have or do is for you. So not everybody can be an entrepreneur. And yes, Emily, I said that again and again. Nobody, you know, no, entrepreneurship is not for everybody.
Yeah.
So you need to you know, revisit yourself and reconnect with what exactly you. I thought that I'm gonna be helping people through social work, through become, you know, a sociology, because it was more broad. I will help more people. But guess what? There is something else that was missing. It was missing that one-on-one coaching. It was missing me sitting down and say, you can do it and you cannot do it. And this is what we have to do. And this is what you cannot do. You take it or leave it, you know, but, you know, being there, and that I'm talking about working in a field now, because we all are social work. Some point in another, we are. Because we helping and we serving, and that's what God allowed us to do, and that's why He chose us to be a servant, right? And we all had that, you know, within us. So when I change this, because I want to fix my body, I want to, you know, be healthy, I want to be active, I want to give it to everybody else, and I say, I like this. I'm having fun. I'm making people happy. People are leaving now. They were dead. They were like, no, I don't know what I'm doing. And now here Maribel can come and they're living their life, you know, and that it's a goal of mine, having our community healthy and active. And that's what goals mean once you have it in your mind. I always say, change your mind, change your life.
That's it. That's it.
That is it. So and goals are effort that we all do to reach that big one. So, and then you divide it little by little. People want to be there, yesterday. You need to think. You need to think. You need to stop, and you need to act little by little with limits.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because you need that path clear to reach that big one. Don't be jumping because you're gonna fall.
Yeah.
You're gonna fail. You're gonna stop yourself. So we need to stop, think, and then act. And of course, we gotta put that first, because the book that he gave us, we don't need no more books. Okay, yeah, let me take, because I read everything is there. So and it's amazing. So and don't limit your challenge. Challenge your limits.
Come on. Yes.
So and those are everything, for the future that you want to create for yourself.
Yes.
Woo! I'm like,
I just need to drop the mic. Right here, a microphone so she can.
Yes.
That's what we need to do.
Drop the mic.
Yes. Boom.
Ebony, what are your thoughts?
I would say people aren't becoming. You said why they aren't reaching their level of success. Was that the question?
No.
Why do some people achieve their goals while others don't?
Oh, so for me, it's the PPE: plan, prepare, execute. People, PPE. Now I stand firm on this for like the last 2-3 years, and it's PPE: plan, prepare, execute. People will plan all day. They might begin to prepare. Great. Then you prepare another day, but the last part, which is E, which is execute, they fail to execute. And I think that's where people fail to reach their goals, because you can plan to, and I liken it to, I love to travel. So I plan for my 40th birthday in November to go to Rome. I have not begun to prepare, so I have nothing to execute. So therefore, when November 14th come and I'm here in Rochester, I cannot be upset. Why? Because I planned it, I did not prepare, and I had nothing to execute. So when it comes to goals, you can plan that thing out. Like Maribel said, you see the top goal. I know it was costing about $5,000 to go to Rome. The way I want to experience Rome, about $5,000. Could it be less? Absolutely. But I just feel like, you know what, girl? It's your 40th birthday. I mean, go all the way out. Okay. Yes. The way out. So it's about $5,000. That's my plan. That's what I want to do. But if my smaller goals is setting money aside, making sure I'm looking at the hotels. There's 2 that I'm looking at, so just deciding which one I wanted, and then book and stuff like that. Then that's preparing. That's getting my passport, make sure that's all up to date, keeping a watch out on any type of COVID notices, because Rome is open again, so just making sure they don't close it down, preparing, getting insurance, talking with my travel agent, and then I execute it by making all those necessary payments, booking my flights, booking the hotel, making sure I keep my spending cash, to the level that I'm gonna need. So that's what happens when you don't plan, you fail to prepare, and you forget to execute, or you fail to execute. So if you plan, prepare, execute, you'll reach your goals. And I think that people don't reach them because they don't do it.
Yes,
I love that. I love that. Yes. I think one of the reasons I think that people fail to reach their goals, absolutely agree with Maribel and Ebony. If I would add one thing to that, would be, are the goals that they're setting for themselves in alignment with their core values? If they're not in alignment with your core values, then you lose the want to. Like the want to does not show up.
Yep.
If whatever goal it is, and I set that goal, especially in a moment of excitement, or I set that goal because it was necessary to get to what I said I needed to do, or what I said I wanted to do. But in the end, if all of those things are not in alignment with my core values of who I am and what I believe my purpose to be, then I am less likely to do any of it, and I won't care at all. Like nobody will be able to motivate me to care about it because it was not in alignment with my core values when I said it out my mouth, or when I wrote it down on this piece of paper, or I made the voice note, whatever I did. So I would say what I share with my clients is the goals that you're setting for yourselves ensure that they're in alignment with your core values. Love what Coach has been saying. Everybody can't be an entrepreneur. Everybody was not designed to be an entrepreneur. Everybody was not designed to be in that C-suite. So if that's where you're setting your goals to get to be and to do, because it looks nice, it looks sexy, it sounds sexy, that's not going to work out real well.
Yeah.
That's not going to work. And if you make it, you'll be real unhappy when you're there, and you'll find a quick way to exit. But more than likely, you won't achieve the goal because it doesn't align with your core values.
Yeah.
Kathy?
Okay, and I promise I won't be long-winded, okay? Okay, so I think the reason why some people achieve their goals and some don't is because the ones that do fail forward. I'm going to say that again. The ones that do fail forward, okay? Sometimes we're going to fail. And a lot of us cannot accept failure. So we set goals and then we give up. We simply give up because something didn't happen. So we let it go. We don't start it again, and things like that. In order to get somewhere or to achieve that goal, I think we should, if it's a goal, it has to be obtainable. It has to be obtainable, and it has to be, to me, broken up for some of us, like me, because I know me, in baby steps. Baby steps go a long way. Yeah. If you break that goal up into baby steps, you'll reach the end of the goal. But when you look at the goal, it might seem long, it might seem hard to obtain, it might seem hard to get to, but break it up in baby steps until you get there. Baby steps counts, y'all. They count.
Yes, they do.
They count. If you've done something in that goal to get you there, you're successful. You've created success just by doing that little baby step until you get to that big goal. And consistency is very important. Perseverance is very important. And even if you fail along the way, fall forward. Don't if you fail, don't let it stop you. Don't stay back there. Continue to move forward. That's the difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't.
I love that. So next question, we're going to start with Ebony. What are your thoughts on boundaries and how do we set healthy ones?
I love boundaries. I love boundaries. I'm actually, since I'm saying, I think I'm going to make me a t-shirt. I love boundaries because boundaries in every area of my life. I mean, for family, friends, finances, business boundaries are number one thing that I definitely stand firm on. I love boundaries. I can just rock that all day. But for me, boundaries are very, very important because it keeps people from interfering with your 3 feet of personal space. If I tell you don't come closer than what my arm length is, don't come closer. Because if you bypass that, then you are able, you might get some repercussions that you weren't expecting. Okay, because I told you don't come this close. Not in a violent way, y'all. Just kind of take that for what it is, okay? Take that for what it is. But it's not being violent. It's just this is arm length. I don't need you up this close unless I invite you here. So for me in business, boundaries looks like my business hours. Yes, I'm a full-time entrepreneur and I do not take it for granted. I know I have to get my butt up, get going like anybody else who's working 9 to 5. My time is no different. But for me, to make sure I have peace within and I don't burn out again, because in 2020 I had a bad burnout and it was when I did the anthology. I burned out because that was my very first one and I was doing it by myself and I burned out. I was down for almost 4 months. I mean, no social media. When I tell you burned, my thing, I love the phoenix bird. I believe it's very beautiful. I know it's mythology. It's a mythology, but I love it because it's birthed through ashes, right? So I was burned out and I had to become a phoenix bird and blossom again in January of 2021. But for my business, what I did was Monday through Thursday, 9 to 6. I only see clients on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Fridays, I work from 9 to 3. Saturdays, 9 to 12. Like this right now is considered work for me, but I have the opportunity. I have the space. I have the ability to choose whether or not I want to work after hours. And so when I do those boundaries, when 6 o'clock hit, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to keep going. I'm going to close this laptop, leave this office, and go do something else. Or if I'm like, you know what? I really want to get this done. And so I keep going, but it's there. The option to stop and start is there. I start at 9 o'clock. That way in the morning, I can get up, have a nice breakfast, check emails and stuff like that if I choose to, whatever I want to do. But at 9 o'clock, I'm in my office. I'm at my laptop. I'm getting it done. 6 o'clock hit. Sometimes at 5:30, I'm like, oh, is it off? Sometimes, but that helps me not burn out. I make sure I tell my clients, listen, if you reach out to me at 8 o'clock at night, if I choose to respond, I will. But if I do not, I will respond to you the next day. When I get new clients, some clients don't. People think that because you hire them, they hire you. You know what I mean? Y'all get me, right? You hire me. When you hire me. And so I'm not there at your every beck and call. I don't operate like that. I have a life. And so yes, I like to go out on Wednesdays. We do this R&B Wednesday thing here in Rochester. So, and it starts at 7. So at 6 o'clock, I'm like, let me get ready because I'm about to go jam to some live music. You know, that's me because I have to live those boundaries, especially when it comes to relationships. Now that I'm dating, I'm off work at 6 o'clock. And that's my business, is my work. I'm off work at 6 o'clock. So, hey, do you want to meet for dinner at 8 o'clock? We can do that because I have that time. Even with families, it's no, I don't have the funds. And no, and for me also, it's no is an answer that requires no explanation.
Come on now, sis.
So
say that.
If you ask me for $100, so LaQuinta like, yo, Eb, can I get $100? Yes. She's not going to ask me, well, why would you give me 100? But if she said, hey, Eb, can I get 100? I said, no, but why not? No.
Because I said no. Right.
Because it's no. So it just requires no explanation unless don't listen. Now if you in somebody's courtroom and they're like, ma'am, what's the answer? No, and the judge like just go ahead and explain that no. Otherwise, you can give your no without it's a no. That's the answer. And I'm not going to explain it. So, depending on where you are, you might have to. But for the most part, you ain't got to explain your no.
I love that. No is a complete sentence.
Yes,
it is.
It is.
No sentence. Exclamation point, period, question mark. It's a sentence.
It is. It stands alone. I mean, no. Let me say it like this: no is anointed. Right.
No is anointing.
It is. It's anointing.
Make a shirt and let me know. And I'll grab it. That's why it says I ain't gonna do it, but just let me know.
Yes. No is anointed because, and that a lot of times I think when people fail to set boundaries, they fail to set boundaries because it requires a discipline from within. A lot of times when you don't have a boundary clearly set, but it's in your mental, and people are violating that boundary, you get angry at the people. Well, the first thing with setting a boundary is a self-check. I have to first establish what I want that boundary to be. And then I have to boldly declare that boundary to myself and to other people and let that boundary be non-negotiable. I don't have to explain to you why my boundary is in place. And if you don't mind, Marianne, can I use the conversation we had as an example?
Yes, go ahead.
All right. So like social media is not my jam. I'm trying to learn it, but it's not my jam. And so a while back, somebody was like, hey, you should tag some folks. So I was like, tag some folks. First, show me how to do it. Sis, show me how to do it. So I was tagging some folks, right? And so Marianne shot me a quick message. I was like, all right, cool. She had a boundary. I was violating that boundary. There was no explanation necessary for her because that's her boundary. That your boundary is whatever it is on whatever level.
That's
and
right.
You don't have to explain that to anyone.
Yes. Yes.
Ever. Your no is a complete sentence.
Yeah.
It stands alone, and people should respect that. Now, I agree with Ebony. In certain situations and circumstances, it may require a little explanation. But those people that are violating the boundary are probably individuals who should be in my trust community. And if they love me and I love them, and they trust me and I trust them, when I say something like that to them and it's a no, I can choose to answer that question or not answer that question, and it should not leave them offended. Now, if I want to go back later and say something, especially if they violated a boundary that was a trigger, so a traumatic situation or circumstance that may have happened in my life prior to you showing up in my life, then give me some time and I might explain that to you later. But you should be able to discern that you just triggered me and move around. You, like she said, give me 50 feet, get my arm length space, step back and come out of there. When people really have your best interests at heart, that explanation really won't be required unless you want to give it. I agree with Ebony. I love boundaries. For a long time in my life, I didn't have them. And then when I tried to get them, I would allow people to violate that boundary because I would compromise with them. Not anymore.
Yeah. I agree with both of you, and it's so true. It's like more like discipline, and that I learned through my years of being an entrepreneur, because I was the kind of person like, no, it was not in my vocabulary. I always say yes, 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 but I was burning myself in many areas of my life, financially, even physically, because I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. So playing Wonder Woman, it was a no for me, and I learned that, and it comes from within. Like discipline, it's something that I needed to take control of my life, and boundaries was something that I learned through it, because me saying no, it was hard, and now it's like it's like a no, and now I'm with Ebony, because like I just lost my
Get it back, Lord. Give it back.
I don't have boundary like right now. I have to think. So what you were saying, like now I have to use alarms, and time. And yes, like you were saying, people think that they hire us or we hire them, and it's like, no, like sometimes they put my prices in my sessions, and I'm like, excuse me, what happened? I missed that part. And can I do this? And I say, no, these are my rules, this is what I do, and that's on my sessions, and this is a no, and why? And it's unexplainable. It's a no,
right?
And I'm sorry. And then they define you, so to a person that they don't like, but it's okay. It's okay. I just keep moving forward. Before I was like, wow, what happened? But what did I do? What? No.
They weren't your client.
Yes, exactly. And now I have learned, and it's so true. It comes from discipline, knowing, becoming wiser. Of course, we have to ask for wisdom and faith in yourself, faith in what you're doing. So, and remember, you will never know your limits unless you push yourself to them. Push out.
Listen, push out your limits.
Yes.
I love that.
I
love that.
So look, I'm gonna be like Maribel. What was the question?
Maribel, you got t-shirts. Hold on, Maribel, you got a t-shirt. Push out your limits.
So I know it had to do with boundaries.
Yes. So mine is I love boundaries. Then Laquita is no is anointed.
No is anointed.
Maribel, yours. What did I say? What did you say? Limits. Push out your limits. That's a t-shirt. When you get it done, let me know.
Okay, the same here.
Yes, you know.
I know it has something to do with boundaries.
Yes. What are your thoughts on boundaries and how can we set healthy ones?
Oh, okay. So boundaries are very important, and healthy ones are going back to some things we talked about earlier, the self-care. Okay, that's so important when it comes to, setting boundaries. Someone touched on it earlier. Ebony, I think it was Ebony or Laquita, one of y'all said saying no. Mm-hmm. I was one of those people before that would never say no because I wanted to help people so much, or I wanted people to see me a certain way.
Yeah,
I wanted people to like me, but when God started dealing with me, the Holy Spirit started showing me who I was when I sat with myself. Sometimes we got to sit with ourselves.
Yep.
Sit in you.
Yes.
And sit with, and you can bring the Holy Spirit into that. But sometimes we really have to sit with ourselves. Okay. What is it about me? What is it that I need to do? And setting those boundaries, are very important in order for you to be able to maintain, the things that, that we're doing, like you said, cutting people off, cutting your time off, as far as people connecting to you and doing things. It's funny you brought that up, Laquita, about Mary Ann, because I had something similar like that happen between me and Mary Ann as well. It's crazy that you brought that up. I think it was like you were in a group. You was in a group. Were we in a group or something?
I think so.
He was in a group. I had put her and the other ladies from my Surviving Her is like a series. There's different books, and she was in book 2. I think you said 3 early. I'm on 3 now, but you was in volume 2, and I put everybody in this group because I was doing like a something like this, like a talk, having some type of event, and she pulled her she inboxed me and something about the group that she didn't like. Okay. And she exited herself out of the group because, I know what it was. Something didn't apply to her, so she felt like if it didn't apply to her, because she kept getting a lot of dings or something. That's what it was. And she didn't like that. And people don't like what they like, but I didn't get mad at her or anything, because she chose to do that. That's her choice, Right. And I had a sidebar conversation with her, as far as, and she let me know how she, and I respected her for that. Mm-hmm. So, just respecting someone else's boundaries and things that they like and don't like is just the same thing as someone respecting our opinion. I can't get mad because you feel a certain way about something. That's your opinion. We all have our opinions. We all have our likes and dislikes. So we can't get mad. So boundaries are very important. I think they keep us going. They keep us leveled.
Yes.
They keep us leveled. They keep us from feeling overwhelmed, or thinking. I had a client that found it hard to say no. Mm. Not a coaching client. I had a counseling client that found that just simply, she felt like she just could not say no, to anybody. And I had to help her through that, that saying, no is okay.
Yes.
Get to a space where saying no, you feel good about it. And you don't look back at that and worry about somebody, not that you want to hurt somebody's feelings, but you got to tell them no, and they got to deal with that, not you. Yep. Don't put the blame all on yourself when you tell them no, because they'll make you feel guilty.
Yep.
Or they'll be like, oh, I can't get nobody else to do this or this and that, whatever. And then you're catching yourself, should I do it or should I go or, and that's not good. They don't care as long as they get what they want, Yeah. So boundaries are, keep us healthy and stress-free.
Yes.
Coach, your shirt is no is okay.
Yes, that's right.
You get it. Let me know.
Yes, no, it's okay. Yes, and look, and I need one to say
yourself.
And I need one to say unbothered too.
Yes,
that's a boundary too.
That's
a boundary too.
Yes,
yes, I love it. So as we get ready to wrap up, I know that you all have different focus areas in your businesses. So I'm going to ask for one tip in pertaining to your focus area in business. So Maribel, what would be one fitness tip that you can give to our audience that they can start working on today?
One fitness tip. change your mind, change your life. Because let me tell you, I know you say one thing, right? Because you can start with any program, gym, products, anything. But if you don't change your mind, you will not be successful.
That's right.
When you change your mind, you will change your life. Because when you become into fitness, no matter what, you have to change your nutrition as well. Everything will change in your body. You're going to become more healthier. So change your mindset, change your life.
That's the truth.
I love it. I love it. And Ebony, what's one writing tip that you can give to our audience today?
Oh, one writing tip, and I actually have to post this. I made a post or a flyer for it, but I never posted it. Write your first draft as if no one will ever read it. Because sometimes we'll get so tied up in our head, like, oh, if I write this down and I publish it, what is so-and-so going to think? No, write it as though no one is ever going to read it. And then you go back and edit. That's it, right? Just get it all out. Don't self-edit. Don't sentence structure. Don't worry about grammar. Just get it out. Because if you get it out the first time, then you can go back and rework it and make it perfect. But it'll never be perfect. Nothing is perfect. Just know that.
That's so true. Laquita, what's one success leadership tip that you can give to our audience?
Never stop developing personally.
Yeah.
Always, always, always prioritize your personal development.
Woo.
And Coach Kathy.
Okay. Mine's is fire your fear and hire your faith.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Come on, hire your faith.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal that one.
Fire your fear and hire your faith.
I like
Because even though you got that fear, it's that faith that's going to get you through.
That's right.
Yes.
It is.
Hire your faith. Put that on the shirt. Listen, I believe everything needs to go on a shirt. I'm telling you, everything needs to go on a shirt. Because it's going to resonate with somebody.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah. So as we get ready to close out, any last parting words from everyone, and let our audience know where they can connect with you and learn more from you. So Kathy, go ahead.
Well, they can connect with me at on Coach Kathy. That's on all of my social medias platforms. And they can also go to dkathyharris.com to look me up, or look at, they can visit my store there, or anything else they would like to find out about my anthologies or anything like that. And just, again, my last words to leave them with will be the same thing I just said: fire that fear and hire that faith.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Laquita?
They can Google me, right? Just
right.
Mondley. And all things Laquita Mondley will show up. My website, my social media, as well as if they want to hear me or see me as where I've been on other people's platforms. My name is pretty unique, so just Google Laquita Mondley and you'll get those YouTube hits, as well as my social media handles and my website. And I just repeat what I said: never stop with personal development. The more we grow in personal development, it will overflow into the other areas of our life, no matter what hat you're wearing: wife, mom, minister, pastor, elder, preacher, teacher, reacher. It doesn't matter. CEO, CFO, whatever it is professionally. As you're growing as an individual, that growth pours over into every aspect of your life.
Yes, it does.
Thank you so much. Ebony?
For me, you can, just like Laquita, I'm Google me, baby. You will find me. Okay, Google me. Ebony Nicole Smith. That is my name. That's my website. Coach Ebony Nicole on Instagram and Facebook. You Google me, you'll find a lot of stuff. So just go right ahead and do that. I would leave with you all, as I always say, get your book done. Get it done. I promise you, once you get that first draft out, You write like no one is ever going to read it. Once you get that first draft out, you are more likely to continue the path because you did it already. You'll continue the path with revisions. You'll continue the path with editing and finally publishing. And when you are ready to take that journey, hello. Just Google me, baby. Ebony Nicole Smith.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much. And Maribel?
Well, you can find me in Facebook, all the social media platforms as Maribel with the I _ get fit. So you can find me there. Also, I have a page. It's called Fit Balance with the Z at the end. I'm there, Wellness Studio. I am in the social media as well. And soon you can Google me. Soon. So,
I will be Googleable now.
Yeah, you are Googleable now.
Maybe you can Google me now. Maybe it's like,
yes, baby.
So, yes. And I will leave you with this. Don't limit your challenges. Challenge your limits.
I love that. Thank you so much for being here with me today, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Awesome, and successful first roundtable discussion that I had with this amazing ladies. And I know that Coach Tanya Bankston had to hop out shortly after joining, and that is because she is a mental health counselor, so she had clients. But I do thank her for being here today. Thank you so much to Laquita, to Ebony, to Maribel, and to Kathy. And my fearless tip for you all is, remember, you are a priority and you matter. Catch you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you found this episode inspiring and motivating. Don't forget to leave a comment so you can win a fabulous prize at the end of the month. You can leave a review on iTunes, or you can head over to YouTube or my Fearless Living Coach page on Facebook if you are an Android user. And as always, remember, you are fearless, you are fabulous, you are a priority, and you matter. See you next time.